Hey guys, this is Pam. As promised, I am back with a lesson on how to do crochet in the round. Now, sewing in the round or making circles is going to come in handy for almost every project that we do. With rare exception, almost everything I stitch is in the round at some point. And so this is going to be really handy for you to learn. Now, I did upload a video of Jada talking about a cinch circle or magic circle. That's two names for the same thing. I like to call it a magic circle. So you may have already learned this technique. I'm going to review it here and go really slow. Now, to start your circle, you don't have to do a cinch circle or a magic circle. There are other techniques too that are easier, but I really think this one is better. It really pays off in the long run. It really lets you tighten up that circle so there's no round space in it. So you wouldn't want a round hole in the top of your hat, or especially a round hole in the top of your bunny rabbit's head, because stuffing would come through, and that would not be good. Okay, so you're going to take your yarn, you got your little tail, all right, got your yarn that's connected to your yarn ball, and you're going to make a loop here with, let me make sure I can get my hands so that you can see me, loop it over and then over the top. It's almost like casting on. You're going to reach in there and you're going to grab the yarn. But instead of now casting on, you're going to grab it here and hold it sort of like this. You're going to take the yarn that's attached to your yarn ball, not your tail, but the yarn ball yarn. You're going to grab it and pull it through. There you go. Look, see now your yarn is hanging from your loop, hanging from a loop from your hook. You got your little tail hanging down, and there you go. Now, what we're going to do is single crochet into this loop. And when we do that, we're going to go over both of these strands right here. See, there's two strands of yarn there. We want to catch both of those strands of yarn in our single crochet. Now, for the doll, we're going to single crochet in a circle working in spirals. For the hat project, we're going to double crochet in a circle, but we are not going to work in a spiral. All right? Two different techniques. When you're working in a spiral, you'll need a stitch marker because it will be difficult to tell where your row starts and stops. If you're not working in a spiral, it will be easy to tell, so you won't need a stitch marker. So for this technique we're doing right now, you're going to need a stitch marker of some type. Okay, so first we're going to do, let's just say we're going to do 6 single crochet for this particular project into our cinch circle. So to do that, we're going to catch both strands of yarn. We're going to go into that cinch circle, grab our yarn and pull through. And that's our first single crochet. That loop that was on the hook did not count as a stitch. That one we just did as our first single crochet. So let's do 5 more. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more for 6. Sorry about that. All right, so we should have 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so now this is where the magic happens. You want to hold your 6 single crochets right underneath where the hook is. Kind of hold your hook there too, so you've kind of got that secured. And you want to unwind your little tail. Your little tail's going to kind of be wound up in that little loop. You want to fish your little tail out of there. Sometimes it's easier than others. All right, so we've got our tail there. And we want to pull on that tail to close that circle up. See what's happening? All right, don't pull it really tight yet. Just tight enough to kind of close that circle up. See what happened there? So it's not a complete circle just yet. You still got a little gap there. But there you go. So now what we're going to do, we want to do as many increases in each row as we have stitches in the magic circle. All right, so let's think about that for a second. We have 6 stitches in this magic circle. So to make our circle bigger and so that it doesn't kind of buckle up on itself, we need to put 12 stitches in the next row. So we're going to do 6 more in each row than we had in the previous row for each round. All right, so because we have 6 here, we want to put 6 more in the next row. There's 6 here, 6 more, 6 plus 6, that's 12. Okay, so to get 12 stitches in this next row, we need to do a single crochet increase into each of these 6 that we're going to be going around now. Okay, so but we need to mark it. So we're going to do 1 single crochet into that first single crochet in the magic loop and mark it. Stitch marker, mark that. All right, and now we're going to go right into that stitch to finish off our increase. Okay, so that's 1 increase. Now in the next stitch, do an increase. 2 increases. In the next stitch, do an increase. That's 3 increases. In the next stitch, 4 increases. In the next stitch, put your 5th increase. And in the next stitch, put your 6th increase. And look, we're right back at our stitch marker stitch. Okay, can you see that? Oops, sorry about that. Okay, so there's 12. We started with 6. In this round, we've got 12. How many do we want in our next round? We want 6 more than the round below it. So since we have 12, we want 18 in the next round. The way you achieve that is by adding a single crochet in between the increases. So you put an increase in each stitch in that last round. So in the next round, we're going to do a single crochet and then an increase, a single crochet, an increase, a single crochet, an increase all the way around. All right, so let's take our stitch marker out. Let's put our single crochet in there and mark it. So that's 1 single crochet. And so what do we do next? We do an increase. All right, so an increase in the next stitch. So a single crochet and then an increase. A single crochet and an increase. A single crochet and an increase. A single crochet and an increase. A single crochet, more yarn, and an increase. All right. We're right back to our stitch marker. So guess what we're going to do on the next row? We want to do 6 more. We want to do 6 increases on this row. So on the last row, we did a single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase. On the next row, we're going to do 2 single crochets, increase, 2 single crochets, increase. All right, so let's mark our first stitch. Okay, so the pattern for this round is 2 single crochet and then an increase. So that's 2 and then an increase. Okay, so 2 single crochet, not in the same stitch, but moving across 2 stitches and then an increase. Okay, so single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase. Single crochet, single crochet, increase. And we're right back at our stitch marker. What do you think we're going to do for the next round? We did 2 single crochets and an increase for that round. Right. We're going to do 3 single crochets and an increase. So I'm going to do the first one and mark it. So that's 1, 2, 3, and increase. 1, 2, 3, and increase. 1, 2, 3, and increase. All right, so I'm going to stop here because I think you get the idea. You're just going to finish that all the way around to your marker. The next row, you would do 4 single crochets, increase, all the way around. The next row, you would do 5 single crochets and then an increase, and you would work that pattern all the way around. And you would add a single crochet in between the increases with each row until you got the circle as big as you wanted it. Okay, see how that works? So it's really an easy concept. Then once you get the circle, let's say you wanted to make a single crochet hat. You're on your way to making one now. You would just keep making that circle until it's as big as you wanted it to be for your hat. And then instead of doing any decreases at all, you would just do single crochets all the way around and just keep doing rows of that until your hat's as tall as you want it. Now let's talk about how you know how big your hat should be if you're doing a hat. We can use this technique for our dolls too. Let's say how big does this need to be before you actually stop doing increases and just start doing single crochets around, and then you'd eventually do decreases around for your doll. Remember geometry? Yeah, geometry in high school. You're going to need that now. You wondered when you were going to need that, right? Remember pi? It's a really long number, pi, but for our purposes, we'll just go to 2 decimal places. Who remembers what that is? All right, I didn't hear it. I'll assume somebody said it. 3.14, okay? So, you will stop making this circle bigger when it gets as big as your head is. All right, so if your head is 21 inches in circumference, you will need a circle that's diameter when multiplied by pi, 3.14, is 21 inches or thereabouts. All right, so to make that easy for you, if your head's about 21 inches in circumference, you're going to need to increase this circle until it's about 7 inches in diameter, which is all the way across. All right, so when this circle gets to be about 7 inches big, then you can start just doing single crochets across, and you can just keep doing that until the hat's as tall as you want it, and it would fit a 21-inch head. If you want a doll's head that's about 5 inches in circumference, you would make this circle until when multiplied by 3.14, you would get a 5. So whatever that happened to be, you can measure that and find out. So see how that works? So aren't you happy to know that that geometry finally came in handy for you? So technically, once you learn this technique, you already know how to make a hat with single crochet, working in a spiral. That's one way you could do it. Now, see how we have a little hole here now in the center where our magic circle is? Eventually, you're going to want to tighten that. Now's a good time to do that. Just grab that tail, hold your yarn, and pull it real tight. See? No circle. See how tight that is? And now you can cut it. Make sure you're cutting your tail, not your yarn that's attached to your yarn ball. I leave a little bit of a tail just hanging down. I just leave that there. Okay? So that is single crochet in a circle, working in a spiral. See how much you learned tonight? Thanks, kids. See you later.